There you have it for the business roundup. Now let's go straight into the focus of the program today. Now the focus will be on taxation. It is normally said that there are two things we cannot escape in life. That's death and the taxman, or taxes, as the case may be. So we are focusing on taxation on the program today. There's been a lot of conversation around how the tax bracket in Nigeria needs to be widened, how more people need to be incorporated into the tax bracket, issues around tax compliance in the country. And some experts have posited that there is a direct nexus between the state of infrastructure and the fact that tax compliance in the country is undermined. How can that be resolved? My guest on the program today is Dr. Kennedy Iwundu. He is the chairman, Chartered Institute of Taxation, Abuja chapter, and he's joining me to talk about the conversations in tax matters arising. There's also the Finance Act. How do we expect that straight to be looked at? Talking about revenue generation for the country, and taxation also is a good end to generate revenue. Dr. Kennedy, I want to get your thoughts. Now, over the years, the issue of tax compliance has always come forth to the table. It has even been put in front burner position. How is Nigeria faring? Have we done better than where we were, considering the fact that we are wrapping up the year 2022?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I would say Nigeria has done better because of some solutions introduced by the Federal Revenue Service. There have been some form of automations and digitalization going on. Right now, you can file your returns online, make tax payment online. You don't need to physically submit your detailed reports to the Federal Revenue Service. You have to file online. You can also apply for your tax clearance certificate online and also obtain it online. The era of getting tax clearance certificate on a paper is gone. So there's this sort of improvement. Yeah. And also there are also other form of improvement in terms of revenue generation. I think FRS have generated more revenue this year than last year as a result of this digitalization process. Taxing non-resident companies like big giants like Facebook, Amazon, Google. Now they have to pay VAT in Nigeria from the money they are making in Nigeria. I think there's some form of improvement so far.
Okay, thank you for that digitization. I like that. That really plays a huge role, making the process seamless, especially for small and medium enterprises in the country. I'll hold my fire here and we'll take a short break. When we return, the conversation will continue properly. We'll go into the meat of the matter. Please stay.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, and thank you for still staying there with us on the program. Now, I still have my guest with me here in the studio. He is Dr. Kennedy Iwundu, the chairman, Chartered Institute of Taxation, Abuja chapter. Now, we're discussing issues around taxes, basically generating more revenue. And just before we went on that great break, Dr. Kennedy, you spoke about how the process, the whole system has been digitalized and how that has really helped the process of tax compliance and generation of revenue through taxes. Now, I am aware that you interface with a lot of individuals, firms, businesses, business owners, so to speak. I want to get first-hand information from you. What is the reason that comes forth when issues around, when people are asked, why do you not pay taxes?
Yeah, one of the things people complain about is lack of government accountability and transparency. People believe that government of the day has not been accountable and transparent in the application of the common funds of the people. That is that. Then another one is the inability of government to put our infrastructures in a proper place. See, today we are still having problem of light, uninterrupted power supply. We are still not there. We are still having problem of insecurity. We are still having the problem of lack of potable water for the citizens. Our roads are bad. So people are saying, why should they pay tax when government is not ready to fix all these things? However, some of us will also encourage people to pay their taxes.
Yes.
Because when you pay your taxes, at least you stand that opportunity to criticize the government. And in some places, if you don't pay your tax, you may not have that moral rectitude to criticize the government. But when you pay your tax, you have that. They say, pay your tax first and now complain. You have a lot of people in the country not paying tax. And that's as a result of lack of government accountability and transparency, and also as a result of inability of government to bring in some institutional framework that will compel them to pay tax. So because we believe that government still have not bring some institutional framework that will make people to pay tax. And when this institutional framework is being put in place, definitely people will voluntarily pay their tax. And I believe then they can ask government what the government is doing with their money.
Okay, now still in line with this conversation, we went to speak to Nigerians to really hear their opinion on the issue of taxation. Take a listen to what they had to say.
I do pay my taxes. And the thing about tax in Nigeria, number one, we are being overtaxed. For example, the compliance with the government, if you want to pay tax to the government, number one, you pay tax. Number two, they tell you ITF. Number three, they tell you NSITF. Number four, they tell you all manner, one company. If you want to do business with government, 5, 6 registrations. Each of these things, money pats your hand. Tax is good. There are countries that don't have mineral resources. All they get is tax, and people pay. And people love to pay in those countries. The difference with our country is just one. You pay the tax in the name of paying tax to the government, but you pay the tax into the pocket of the politicians. If tax were judiciously used in Nigeria, everybody would like to pay tax. If I pay tax and I have light, I pay tax, I have security. I pay tax, I have water. I pay tax, I have gas. I pay tax, I have good roads. Who would not like to pay? Look at it with me. People evade tax in Nigeria and they pay tax outside Nigeria faithfully. Why? I know over there, the man there is not stealing the money. The man there is using the money. I will benefit. It's a contribution to the general patrimony.
Well, as a Nigerian, I do pay my tax as admin due because as a banker, it's been deducted from my salary on a monthly basis. So I don't owe government any tax payment as per delay or, lacking in doing so. I paid my dues to the government as far as I'm concerned. Well, talking about tax payment, it is an obligation that as a citizen you have to do that. But in most cases, discover that government have done nothing with it. Because if you look at our routes, no maintenance. If you apply the route from Omwa here to Kotamane Road, nothing is being done. One will comfortably see that nothing is being done in view of the huge payment of taxes and government collect from that area. And same is applicable to other geographical zones as well. Invariably, government have not done much in utilizing the payment of our taxes
Actually, I can't say I'm paying tax, but indirectly I'm paying. And I pay multiple tax. There's multiple taxation in Nigeria. For instance, you make payment to the bank will charge you. They will charge the creditor and the receiver and the person who paid. And also, when you buy something in the, for instance, ShopRite, the add tax there, then the transportation bring it to the place, you also pay. So there are multiple taxation, and there's no dividend on the tax we are paying. In some clients that when you pay tax, you'll be happy. You have some incentive given to you. Even when you don't want to pay, you willingly pay because you see the returns. For instance, the tax we are paying, we have bad roads in Nigeria. There's no electricity, there's no good school. There's things that will motivate you. We are being pushed to pay tax in Nigeria.
Now, Dr. Kennedy, you've heard the respondents there talking about multiple taxation, over taxation, as one of the respondents put it there now. And the issue around multiple taxation, the complaints did not just start now. Even before now, we have heard a lot of, especially business owners. You heard that respondent speaking about how he needs to pay so and so at different levels. How can this be addressed?
Sometimes taxes are different from levies. Some of the things they complain might even be levies, not probably tax. Although we have said that a company has to pay company income tax, a company has to pay education tax for those that have turnover that is more than 25 million.
Yes.
If you're a company, you have a turnover of 25 million and below, you have no tax to pay.
Yes.
But if you're a company, you have more than 25 million turnover, you have to pay company income tax, you have to pay education tax and all that. Other things, PENCOM, ITF, NSITF, you can classify them as other government statutory payments or they're not really tax per se. However, they are making a point by saying that if after paying all these things that our country is nice in terms of providing us the good infrastructure, people will pay more. In abroad, certain services are free. You go to school, they are free. At that level, you get to the hospitals, you see government doing a lot of things. So people are willing to pay. You dial 911. I also want to say something. Nigerians will not only complain about government officials mishandling or misappropriating taxpayers. It's an opportunity now for Nigerians to vote the right people into power. Nigerians have the power now to vote the right people. If you vote the right people, I'm sure they're going to use our tax to our maximum advantage and benefit. But if we continue to vote in the wrong people, we will complain and complain forever. So I will use this opportunity to urge Nigerians. We are about going to election.
Yes.
Let's vote in the right people, and I'm sure those right people will use our tax money for our benefit.
Okay. Now, I like the fact that you created a dichotomy between taxes and levies, and that's quite educative, that you need to understand that this is the tax you're paying, and this is a levy, a statutory levy you're required to pay. Now, the FIRS recently said it's going to start taxing gaming companies, in the online gaming companies in the country, in a bid, of course, to generate more revenue and also bring more people into the tax bracket. What's your reaction to this development?
It is right that FIRS do that. It's not only in Nigeria that that's been done. It's been done in other countries, because in the gaming industry, there a lot of money is being generated. People bid and they gain, they win lotteries and all that. Even those who own the gaming company, they make money. People will fix in money, they will lose. Are they not making money? They're making money. So they should pay tax on the money they're making. And even the winners, when you win, you put in 1 million and you won 10 million. You have made an income. Such income is not exempted. You're supposed to pay tax on it. So FIRS is right. If they put in the right infrastructure, the right mechanism, they can generate money from that. And it's not only done in Nigeria, it's also done in other parts of the world. Okay,
finally, now Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio is still very low. I think within the bracket of 6% to 8%, thereabout. We have counterparts doing between 15% to 25%. As we wrap up the program, I just want you in 1 minute to tell me, what are your expectations as we go into a new year, a new probably administration, so to speak? What are your expectations?
My expectation is that those who are contesting for election, especially the presidential candidates, should come up with their tax agenda. And that tax agenda should be how to move our tax to GDP ratio from 8% to at least 15%. According to OECD, 15% is an average. Some countries have 30-something percent, 20-something percent, but Nigeria was still between 6 to 8%. And the reason is that there's so many tax not being collected. Like Nigeria has capital gain tax. In Nigeria, both in Abuja, Lagos, all over, people are buying and selling properties. Nobody is paying capital gain tax. Capital gain tax is a gold mine. It's a gold mine. People are not paying capital gain tax. And also, we should facilitate the digital collection of tax revenue. You pay to hotel, you pay to eatery, automatically is remitted to the government, not keeping it by the owners. And at the end of the month, they decide to find government what they want to find government. So by the time we increase the digital collection of taxes and look at capital gain tax, untapped tax, I'm sure we're going to move on from that 8% to 15%.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy Iwundu, Chairman CITN Abuja chapter. Thank you for coming on the program to share your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
And that's where we call it a wrap for the program today. Now, according to Albert Bushnell Hart, taxation is the price which civilized communities pay for the opportunity of remaining civilized. Now, it is important to pay our taxes. But then again, if we're local governments unto ourselves, how much more can we do? But Nigerians, just as Dr. Kennedy said, we're all urged to do the right thing. Don't cut corners for the economy to get better. I am your host, Christiana Amodu Otinya. Thank you for always investing your time with us on the program. Don't forget to catch up everything you need to know on our social media platforms on news, making the quality and updating the world of business. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye for now.